Nashville, the countdown until the NFL Draft in Nashville is now just 2 days away. It's going to be crazy here in the Music City. Let's take one more dive into the Titans mailbag before the big weekend. I plan on doing a special mailbag on Thursday where fans can submit their draft hopes for the Titans. Let's roll this one out with a touching entry to kick things off. Nick Green from San Antonio, Texas question. Hey Jim. I'm not sure if this is the right kind of message to send to you. I've been thinking it over for years, and have decided to write. I'm a lifelong Titans fan. I grew up in Nashville, and was 10 years old when they moved to Tennessee. Since then, I've even gotten a Titans tattoo. My cousin grew up down the street from me. We were lifelong best friends, and he was the only person I knew who loved the Titans as much as me. He passed away a few years ago, just a few days short of his 30th birthday. Only days before, he'd proudly showed me the brand new Delaney Walker jersey that he'd purchased. We watched the Titans play the Vikings, and then he was gone before the next game. The only thing I have left from him is that jersey. I wear it proudly, every Sunday when the Titans play. Every time Delaney catches a touchdown, it means a little bit more than it used to. I think of my best friend, and I smile instead of cry. I just wanted to share the impact that Titans football can really have on a family, and a person, as they attempt to heal. If you could somehow just pass my message on to Delaney, to let him know that every play he makes, I see the best man I ever knew, Matthew Tatham, smiling down from the skies and cheering him on, it would mean a lot. Our families have suffered a lot in recent years, and the Titans have been the one thing that has given just enough escape to get through the day. Jim, thanks for sharing this story. Nick. Best to you and your family, and Rip Matthew Tatham. Dana Pickerel from Henderson, Nevada question. With the draft in Nashville, would the Titans consider making a big splash with fans by trading up to get Josh Allen? Allen would be considered a hometown kid, feels a need and a want. Big splash in Nashville's first ever hosting the NFL draft, and an added factor would be the Kentucky fan base, who is so close. Jim, hi Dana. GM John Robinson has been asked this question before. Not about Allen, but about the team potentially trying to make a splash. I don't get the sense it's his mission heading into the weekend. He just wants to land the right players. As for Allen specifically, he's a great player. I wouldn't get your hopes up, though. I just think it would take way too much ammo to move up to get him. Tom Mackey from Gloucester, England question. Hi Jim, I have been a Titans, Oilers fan since 1983, which was a pretty good year to learn about the draft. Obviously I am looking forward to following the draft in Nashville. So here's my question, how much stock do you think John Robinson puts into the age of a draft prospect? Some guys could be as young as 20 and some as old as 24 to 25. Do the front office consider age when they draft a player, and how much does it matter? I imagine it has a lot to do with how much potential a player has to help the team improve and how mature a learner he is. Jim, hi Tom. Good question. I think they consider age on a case-by-case basis, and the maturity of a player. Kenny Britt was just 20 years old when the Titans picked him, and I remember Albert Haynesworth was just 20 as well. Those were different regimes, of course, but they offer proof if a player is good enough, they'll be picked. Of course, some guys need more time to mature, and the scouts and personnel folks do a lot of homework before picking a guy. Rashaan Evans was 22 when he was picked last year, and he turned out to be one of the most mature rookies I've ever been around. In the long run, I think the answer hinges on potential, ability and smarts more than it does birth date. Nicholas Delamere from Laval, France question. Hey Jim. I'm so excited by the draft at Nashville and ready to read you about this great event in Nashville's atmosphere. Not a question, but I can see that some of our legends are excited by the opportunity of this draft, with our loving Eddie who announced Titans' second-round pick. Just one word, don't forget our Air Mac. Steve is one of the reason that I'm a Titans fan and not alone in Titans fan. So, do you know, Jim, if the name of the great Steve McNair can be here at the draft, even if he will be in every Titans lover's heart? P.S. Maybe when Eddie will announce Titans' second pick, he can do Mac touchdown celebration, 2 bumps on his chest and finger pointed to the sky. Thank you again, Jim. Good to hear from you again, Nicholas. Thanks for taking the time. Joey Olafson from Sanford, Manitoba. Question. Hi, Jim. Been a fan since Warren Moon stopped winning Grey Cups in the Great White North, and showed the world that a man of color can be a Hall of Fame QB, and not just another wide receiver. Which leads me to my question, do you really think we need another WR to succeed? I have seen so much commentary in the Mailbag about the Titans' need for a WR, and to be honest, I am perplexed. We just went and picked up what I think will be our Wes Walker in Adam Humphries, we already have a Des Bryant in Corey Davis, and we have our speedster in Taywan Taylor. As far as I can tell, that's more WR talent than the Patriots had in any of their 6 SB wins. Let's not forget the year Randy Moss lit it up, they lost. I'm pretty sure BB does not make WR a top priority, and they seem to be doing okay. Take those 3 receivers, give Marcus and Ryan some time to throw, use Delaney to pick up some tough yards in the middle, and you have a top 5 offense in the making. I feel draft priority should be help on the edge, or in the middle, or maybe a GB in the middle of the O-line to shore up what should be our greatest strength. I guess we will find out very shortly if I can read Junior's mind. Smiley face. Thanks for all you do, Jim. Tighten up, Jim. Good to hear from you, Joe. I believe the team can be successful with its current group. Adam Humphries was a big get for the slot. Corey Davis showed flashes of stardom last year, and Tajay Sharp and Taywan Taylor are only going to get better. I like guys like Darius Jennings and Cameron Batson and Devin Ross and Roger Luis competing. With that said, there are some guys in this draft class that are intriguing, and they could add an extra dimension. But the GM and HC will have to decide which is more important, adding to that group with an impact guy, or attacking another position of need. I do agree, the needs at edge and on the interior lines are probably bigger. I also believe the team will take a receiver in the draft, it's just a matter of who and when. Antonio Prestigiacomo from Beaufort, Georgia. Question. Hi Jim, first-time writer here. I have a few questions for you, so we'll jump right in. Point 1. Do you think there's a possibility that Jonnu Smith could start over Delanie Walker next season? I love his versatility. He can catch shovels, screens, and I've seen he's decently proficient from the slot, not to mention his speed. Point 2. Are there any updates on Mariota? Injuries from last season, how he's feeling, etc. 3. With the draft coming up, do you think it's possible the Titans will trade up to get a more premium pass rusher? Thanks Jim. Jim, let's knock these out in rapid-fire fashion. 1. I like Jonnu, and he definitely showed even more promise last year. But I envision Delanie returning as the Pro Bowl caliber player prior to the injury, and that guy is starting in my mind. Point 2. Mariota's throwing without issues. I've seen it. He looks good. Point 3. Getting help on the edge is a priority. I don't necessarily think the team will have to trade up to make it happen, however. Randy Phillips from Mount Vernon, Illinois. Question. Hi Jim. What do you think the odds are that the Titans stay put at pick? Jim. Hey Randy. John's hard to read, and he's certainly not giving anything away if he can avoid it. After ending up with just 4 picks last year, I suspect he'll try and maneuver to get more. During a presser on Monday, he said so himself. But so much hinges on what happens 1 to 18, the group of players still on the board when the Titans are scheduled to pick. Blake Collins from Saltville, Virginia. Question. Hey Jim, thanks for keeping us fans up to date and answering our crazy questions. Lol. My question is about the OL. Roger Stafford is an awesome addition. Add another great OL with him, and Taylor Lewin and Derrick Henry will have time to hit second gear and Marcus will have time to throw the ball. What are the chances they try for OL in the first round? Seems to me it will give everyone behind center more time for play development. Thanks Jim. Hi Blake. I'll be very surprised if the team doesn't add an O-lineman in the draft. Whether it comes in the first round, well, it's just hard to say at this point. As I mentioned to Randy, so much depends on what the board looks like when the Titans are on the clock at 19. If the team can get an impact player at a different position there, then maybe you wait on the O-lineman. Eli Deco from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Question: Hey Jim. Long time no write. When looking at this draft, or any, do you think J-Rob thinks about extending the careers of his current players by drafting complementary players? Like a DT to keep wear and tear off of Jones and Casey? Or even a new guard to assist Jack's recovery, etc.? If you look at it, the drafting of Jayon Brown and Evans has really done it for Woodyard. I really like the idea of us going line heavy on both sides of the ball. Championships are won in the trenches after all. Just a thought. Thank you for reading this and giving us fans a real voice. Take care. Jim, what's up Eli? Hope your wife is still keeping you in line. I suspect some picks could be made not only for depth for the 2019 team, but also looking to the future. There are some guys on the roster who are closer to the end of their careers than the beginning, and part of the draft strategy will be finding future replacements. Jimmy D. from Battleground, Washington. Question: One more week. I know for a fact that John Robinson will improve the team substantially with his draft strategy. We only have a few holes left: a DT, an edge, and an IOL. I don't know how he'll fill all three holes when you only have 2 impact picks. I think that the first and second round are impact picks. I think the third round is interesting, but I think 1 and 2 are your best bets to get an impact player. I don't think Robinson is going to be willing to leave one of those holes there. The team is stacking a lot of exceptional talent, so it makes me wonder if the team will be able to pay all of its nifty players or if we're going to see a purge of some great players soon. I hate to see this team break up. Jim: Hey Jimmy. The team is in great shape from a salary cap standpoint, so any moves made won't be out of financial concerns. And while a lot of impact guys usually are found early in the draft, plenty of difference makers come in later rounds. Kevin Byard was a 3rd rounder in 2016, and Jayon Brown was a 5th rounder in 2017, just to name a few. One more: Delaney Walker was a 6th round pick way back in 2006. Scott Spurlock from Leander, Texas. Question: Howdy Jim. Greetings from Texas. My question is, why do people ask you questions you can't answer? Yeah, no. Who will we draft? What do the coaches think about? Don't they know you are on the payroll and can't say anything about stuff that might get you off the payroll? Anyway, I'm a little drunk and really I think I'll leave all that draft stuff to the pros. I trust the coach and GM. They make me scratch my head sometimes, but I always love the team. On draft day I'll be landing in the Philippines and won't be able to keep track of who drafted who or what. You make sure coach and GM know I trust them to do what is best for our team. I just read Amy Adams Strunk went to UT Austin. Where I worked, I met a ton of people there. Never bumped into her, but the lost odds. Met him, Mac Brown met him, Michael Griffin almost ran over him one day, Justin Tucker met him. Had a really long day with him. Vince Young met him, Colt McCoy met him, Kenny Vaccaro did not meet him, but saw him on campus many times. There was another famous one, played for the Giants. CB or safety, had a girlfriend that was in the Olympics. Oh, and don't let's start about basketball. Yep, Katie playing for the Warriors now. As I was installing Wi-Fi devices in or around where they were on campus, those were the good old days. Keep on keeping on, my friend. Did I tell you I lived over around Ellington Parkway and Freely Parkway around the hospital over there for about 5 years? I loved my time in Nashville. I could hear when the Titans scored a touchdown. I was that close to this stadium. Anyway, thanks for your time. Jim, hey Scott. Appreciate your honesty. Hope you weren't drinking when you almost ran over Griff. Smiling face with smiling eyes. Have a safe trip to the Philippines and best to you. Dave Bedlock from Chesterfield, Missouri. Question: with 2 days to go before the draft, the last thing I want to see is JROB trading up. Last year's draft only netted us 4 players. We need to stick and pick or trade down in order to obtain more draft capital. There seems to be a lot of similar value in the top 15 to 40 player range, according to their grades. Jim, how do you see it? Thanks, Jim. Kind of agree with you here, Dave. I'd say chances are better he moves back and up. Mark Richardson from Elk Grove, California. Question: this is probably more of a rant than a question, but I can't believe the Titans only got one national televised game. They were only 2 plays away from being 11-5 last year, and they crushed the Super Bowl champs Patriots. The Titans also beat 4 teams that made the playoffs last year. On the other hand, the national media continues to throw the Browns down our throats. Personally, I'm not sure what the Browns have done besides trade for Odell Beckham that has made them such the darlings of the NFL. They only beat 1 team over .500 last year. It is unbelievable to me that they got 4 primetime games. Even the lowly 49ers and Giants got 3 primetime games. Well, I guess we needed to cherish the role of being the underdog and go out and take care of business, and maybe we will have something to talk about in February. Go Titans. Jim, hey Mark. We accept rants here, as long as they're clean. Hope you feel better now. Have a great draft week, everyone. Let's block ads. Why?